Bucks this morning, particularly the people of Vigilance, Bucks and Friendship. I believe it is indeed an honor that we have been blessed with this project, but I will not go into the intricacies of the project because I believe that we have Mr. Flats and the other persons here who are going to deal with that. But Mr. Chairman, I firmly believe that this project, upon the completion of all the pumps that are to be installed in this area, will significantly impact in a positive way the lives of the residents of Bucks and Vigilance community. It has come at a time when we've all become tired of the constant loss of crops, the dislocation from our dwellings, the discomfort from having to trek through several feet of water, and the fear of diseases associated with flood conditions. It has also come at a time when we were losing hope in government and its ability to deliver to the citizenry the much-needed improvements in the physical, social, and economic environment of rural communities like ours. And while we are aware, Mr. Chairman, that it is the obligation of any decent and focused government, we know for a fact that these communities have been victims of neglect for several decades. I am hopeful that this pump, the other one that is currently under construction just across the way in the basin at the company canal, and the ongoing drainage works that are taking place in the backlands will finally rid us of the perpetual problem of flooding. The benefits of an improved drainage and irrigation system within our community are numerous, and we must recognize that. Apart from the discomforts mentioned before, I am hopeful that when all the works are completed, that we will realize in this area significant expansion in our agricultural output, whether it be in the area of crops or livestock. I'm absolutely optimistic that time will come when we will have grown to the extent that we will need to establish cold storage facilities and warehouses for our abundant production. This will happen only if we, the beneficiaries, are motivated by these developments to be more integrally involved in our own personal domestic economy, and by extension, the development of the village economy and the development of the country's economy. We are the cusp of great possibilities bolstered by the recent discoveries of crude oil offshore, and we must be prepared to take advantage of every conceivable opening. In this, we cannot rule out the possibilities for agriculture. I therefore want to take the opportunity to urge our young men and women to get on board and to become involved in the current drive to restore agriculture to the prominence it once held in the village. 180 acres of land are scheduled to be cleared in the backlands as a start towards this agricultural drive. Get on board, my people. Get on board. I also want to admonish all of us to take ownership of these projects so that they may serve us well. Be conscious of what you do and how your own actions can eventually lead to the degradation of the progress that has been brought to us. And the canals leading to these pumps should be guarded by us. We need to desist from making our canals the dumping grounds for dead animals and for whatever we need to discard from our homes, our yards, our factories. We also need to recognize that we too have a role to play in keeping these canals clean and clear of weeds and bushes so that they can be a free flow of water to the pumps and to the sea. We have lost our sense of community, and we have grown too much into a people that are overtly dependent upon the NPC and the government for everything. I am confident that we can do better, and we can be an integral partner in sustaining the improved quality of life that will come to us by these interventions. I am well aware that there are several other needs of the people in Bucks and Falls, but we need to continue to have faith in the government that it will continue to fulfill the mandate that we have given to it to restore the vibrancy, the tenacity, and the verve of life within our communities. We all have expectations for better quality of life, which we have been perpetually denied, and I am confident that this is the beginning and not the end. That it is a giant step on the long road to restoration of the pride and dignity of this proud historical community. I thank you, Honorable Minister. I congratulate your team for the dedication and sense of purpose that they continue to demonstrate, and I thank the government for this timely intervention. Residents of Buxton Vigilance, the torch has been lit. Let's keep it burning. Thank you.
The Ministry of Agriculture, through the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, has been concentrating on water management as a critical area of focus, since most of the nation's agricultural activities are practiced in the low coastal areas of regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In Guyana, we must enforce measures to withstand the effects of climate change. In fact, when we speak of the effects of climate change, we must speak about flood risk management. Climate change is likely to cause extensive and chronic flooding, the inundation of valuable agricultural land, and the loss of crops caused by increased frequency of heavy rain, which will have a negative impact on Guyana's economy. Indeed, since assuming office, the government of Guyana has been faced with extensive flooding in 2015 and 2017. Therefore, we need to adapt to climate change where our water resources and management are concerned. The effects of climate change in Guyana can be handled in two distinct ways: through mitigation of its effects or long-term adaptation to minimize its effects while ensuring continued agricultural development. Mitigation involves an increase in the number of pumps and pump stations, cookers, canals, and sluices to increase our ability to remove excess water from the land. Mitigation prevents economic losses. This project, flood management, stems from the Conservative Adaptation Project, which has outlined a prioritized portfolio of investments in critical areas to mitigate the effects of climate change. Coming out of this portfolio is the Flood Risk Management Project 2014 and 2019, implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture's Agricultural Sector Development Unit. The objective of the project is to reduce the risk of flooding in lower-lying coastal areas of East Demerara, and which costs $11,890,000 United States dollars. One of the outputs of this project is to implement priority flood risk reduction in the East Coast Demerara drainage system by improving pumping capacity in three areas: Lusignan, Vigilance, and Hope and More. This is the second pump station to be commissioned. Lusignan was commissioned on April 20th, 2018, and Hope and More will follow shortly. With the installation of this new drainage pump station at Friendship Vigilance, the incidences of flooding in the area should be significantly reduced. The pump station was designed to drain the Buxton, Vigilance, Friendship areas and will benefit approximately 150,000 residents. The cost for the construction of this pump station is estimated at approximately $240 million. The pump station has one pump of 70.8 cusecs, which can discharge water at a rate of 31,700 gallons per minute. Furthermore, flood control is achieved through an interconnected drainage system. As such, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority is currently constructing another pump station in Buxton, which will have two pumps that will discharge water at a rate of 90,000 gallons per minute. Flood risk management is built around the drainage and irrigation infrastructure and should be everybody's business. Today, farmers and residents can be assured that the fear of flooding will now be minimal. I urge you to ensure that your drains and canals are kept free of weeds to realize the full benefits of this increased pumping capacity, since flood management is a shared responsibility and you can make a difference. The National Drainage and Irrigation Authority in the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for drainage and irrigation again, including strategic planning, investment, operation, maintenance, and monitoring. Once these works are completed by the Agriculture Sector Development Unit, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority will take over operations and provide maintenance in accordance with its mandate. Additionally, another project, the Rural Agricultural Infrastructure Development Project, under the Agricultural Sector Development Unit, will be working in the villages of Ithaca, Mocha, Buxton, and Triumph to rehabilitate drainage and irrigation systems and access lands, clear land for cultivation, and provide access to planting materials and improve breeds of livestock. This government will continue to carry out all necessary works to be done in Region 4, especially in agriculture, and more particularly in drainage and irrigation. Simultaneously, we are adapting our agriculture to be more time sensitive for a sustainable and resilient Ghana. I will give one insight into an industry, the rice industry. Just last week, the Ghana Rice Development Board released the GRDB 15 variety that stands up to lodging while providing increased yields per acre, as much as 6 to 8 bags per acre increase. For those of you who don't know, lodging is a major challenge for rice farmers due to heavy rainfall during harvesting. There are often inaccessible roads and fields, resulting in farmers delaying harvesting. This results in loss of value due to lodging and reduction in quality during milling. This variety can also tolerate delayed harvesting by 1 to 2 weeks without any implications on quality for milling. Also, in 2018, the Ghana Rice Development Board will be testing breeding lines for tolerance to salinity. The rice industry is one of the largest beneficiaries of our irrigation and drainage services. In 2018, we expect a bumper crop. The first crop harvest currently stands at 418,389 metric tons as of April 30th, 2018, representing 80% of total acreage to be harvested. It is expected that this first crop figure will top out at 530 metric tons, approximately 35,000 metric tons more than our targeted production. Over the last decade, rice production has been growing in leaps and bounds, moving from 298,125 metric tons in 2007 to 630,104 metric tons in 2017. This represents a 111% increase in production. The Ministry of Agriculture considers itself privileged to be partners with the World Bank in the execution of this project. I express my gratitude to the Project Execution Unit within the Agricultural Sector Development Unit for their time and expertise in developing this project, and urge them to continue to make this project a success. The Government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Agriculture, remains committed to flood risk management for the economic and social well-being of the Guyanese people, and gives us assurance that we will continue to implement aggressive plans and civil works to undertake investments, maintenance, and future planning in drainage and irrigation. And finally, do enjoy your Revival Day celebrations tomorrow.
Thank you.